You're watching a Zero Dark Network production. Welcome. So it's really early this morning. It's Friday. I'm looking forward to covering a lot of content today. Got up early to prepare for these calls like I normally do. And again, you're watching Zero Dark Network. You're participating in Zero Dark Network Friday Live every Friday at 03 a.m. Central Time. We're online. And this is the 10th episode that I'm entitling The Future is Here, HEAR. I cloned my voice last night, and we're going to have a chance to demonstrate that. And so I've been doing a lot of research in marketing artificial intelligence, and in the middle of doing some training with Billie Jean marketing, which is giving me an update on the progress and evolution of artificial intelligence. I got to remind myself to keep looking at the camera. I have a sign, if you're on my Facebook page, it says look here, and you can see it. So to welcome you to being on this episode number 10. You can go back in the archives. If you go to the website Zero Dark Network, you'll be able to see the archives, because I do have them there, as well as the playlist channel. And hopefully the content is informative, stuff that you can use. Please subscribe. That's one of the things I'm going to be adding to the intro, is a reminder to subscribe and tell other folks about this network. This channel is for the late owls and the really early birds. Zero Dark Network is a play on Zero Dark 30. It's before Zero Dark 30. So we're up early. Again, many times I'm up at 2:30 in the morning, but 2 a.m.s on these mastermind and these Friday lives to prepare. And so it's always good to have a prepare, and I never know really what I'm going to talk about, but thankfully keep active. And as the week kind of has a vibe to it or a flow to it, I start making mental notes of what I want to talk about in each episode to make it of value. Also, it is an open platform. So last couple of weeks, we had Ed Garza from Video City Magazine out of Tennessee come on as a guest. So we're going to learn more about his platform and how to utilize it for what we're doing. And then last week we had Chris Cohen of Cohen Logistics. He's in my circle. He's here in Houston. And so we are actually, aligning and masterminding our opportunities. We're going to talk a lot about XRP, investing in the blockchain, although I'm not giving investing advice. A friend of mine a while back had advised that I get my Exodus wallet set up and start to look at what the blockchain and NFTs and crypto and all that kind of stuff that's there. I don't even know the right terminology. Maybe you do, so I'd love to hear your comments. But I'm going to go ahead and start with our national anthem, which is our commercial, which is on our front page. If you go to zerodarknetwork.com, we have adopted our verse for Mark 135, which talks about getting up early, right? And so it seems stressful sometimes to folks, but right now people are stressed. If you're reading the headlines about what's going on with the border, just the mayhem with the shootings that happened here, I guess after the Super Bowl and at Lakewood Church. I mean, crime is on the rise, but you know what? We have peace of mind. And so what I'm finding is, thankfully, that, an early rise, we can hopefully make ourselves better, and we can change the world, basically become the change that you want to see in the world. So Mark 135, in the spirit of Zero Dark Network, we're going to go ahead and play our video anthem. I'm going to put a voice to it now that I have my voice cloned. I may wind up using that to help. So one of the things that we've been playing around with is our tagline, up before the devil, and also recommended that we say that your future is calling. Avoid the slow death of the snooze button. That snooze button goes off and we just want to rest, which is okay. In fact, this week I wanted to sleep a little late, 30 minutes an hour, at my wife's leading. And I've just learned, like, listen to your body, on this. So the thing is, as you start to adapt your routines and change your routines, part of it is listening to your body. And so with that, I'm going to go into some changes I've made this week in regards to exercise, nutrition, and getting back in the zone for vigorous exercise. And it just starts with a simple process. Just start slowly and start moving in that direction. We normally open in prayer on this deal because the thing is, I created this platform. It's a marketplace ministry, not trying to be preachy or anything, but these times require prayer. A lot of people, it's meditation, but we know that prayer works. And as I have read the Bible over many, many years, I mean, it really is kind of like the Rosetta Stone to so many different aspects of our life, from poetry to music to geology, architecture, business, farming, relationships, vision casting, believing for great things, networking, working with others. And so there's just a lot of practical, ancient wisdom that we can apply when it comes to making decisions. There's a lot of times, you have tough decisions to make, and it's really hard, because there may not be a necessarily obvious solution. But the Bible says that wisdom is like a bubbling brook, and so that never really made sense to me until my mind's eye, I pictured a bubbling brook, right? And you probably have seen beautiful streams and beautiful lakeways and rivers and freshwater flows, creeks, those kinds of things. And so when I remember I was a kid, I used to go crawfishing right in our neighborhood at Shoal Creek in Austin. And right after a rain, the waters would swell, and just the beauty and specter of that water flow, and then the teeming of life, right? So wisdom is like a bubbling brook. I mean, if you study the brook, you look at the waters, there's so much going on. There's so much, even microscopically, that's unseen to the naked eye. That's kind of how life is, right? As you're reading and absorbing the airways of the news, what's being said, what's going on in your life, you can start to detect things that you want to observe, research. It's kind of like, again, I mentioned last week, it's like it's like taking a shower, right? You're bathing your mind in new information. And that's kind of the spirit of this thing, as well as there's books that we're reading, people that we're talking to, things that we're observing, and we want to implement, right? We don't want to be failure to implement. So as you're detecting these changes or identifying these changes, what I'm finding is prayer works, right? So nothing wrong with prayer. Research is backing it up. As a Christian, basically, I'm now in tune with the Holy Spirit, and the preordained things that God created for me to do. Right. So this is one of my platforms, and open it in prayer because I want you to be blessed, as well as I want to be a blessing to my family and to myself. And so the whole spirit of this thing is that, what, I wanted to get up early. I want to start changing some things in my life, and I'm seeing the results of it, and I'm excited about it, and I'm energized all day long. I got a full day planned today. I've got my Fishers of Men Zoom call that I mentioned in previous episodes that I've been doing for several years with some elder gentlemen that come online from basically from Florida, from Costa Rica, or Belize, I think it is, and here locally at Columbus, and we just talk about issues of the day. So before I head into prayer, I want to read this Bible verse. It's on the Bible Gateway. If you go to BibleGateway.com, I'm actually reading from the Geneva Bible, which was printed in 1599. It was the first time that the Bible was made to the common man. And once the common man started to read all the promises that are available to just you and I, the tyrannists, the kings, the royalty couldn't control freedom of thought, freedom of liberty. And I always say Christians were the original of free thinkers, and Jesus died on the cross for free speech, right? Because if he had shut up, they wouldn't have crucified him, right? And so we are called to liberty, and the truth shall set you free. And so once you know who you are and whose you are, then you're free to operate not just in the natural, but in the spirit as well. So as you're planning your day, as you're vision casting for your future, there's power and authority in the spoken word. There's power and authority of studying to show yourself approved. So as you're researching and taking our life seriously, then you're going to start to see results, right? In every aspect of your life, Jesus came to give us life abundant. And so if that's encouragement to you, I hope it is, because it is to me, to know that I have a future. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow may never come. Today really is the only day that we have. And according to Gary Keller, this one thing that I'm doing right now is the only thing I should be doing, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't do it, right? And it's tied into my someday. I do want to talk about that. I don't know if I have time to talk about it. The someday is that perfect day, that day when everything that you're working so hard for comes together. The wind's at your back. You're maybe exhausted, maybe you're tired, maybe like the Super Bowl. We just came off the Super Bowl with the San Francisco Chiefs, and you put forth all this effort to win the Super Bowl in life, right? So everybody has potential for a Super Bowl in their life, a life that is the life that they dreamed of. And a lot of times we haven't taken the time to even dream that life, to plan it out, write it out, and make it real. So every day is an opportunity for me and my family to get closer to that dream day. But guess what? Every day is a dream day. We're living the dream every day. And so today is Friday. Again, there's an excitement at the end of the week, and you're going into the weekend. But I'm not resting on the weekend. I'm actually doing stuff, except for Sunday. Now I'm taking Sundays off to rejuvenate, right? Get refreshed. And so I'm going to read this Bible verse. This one comes out of 1 John 3:11. It says, "For this is the message that you heard from the beginning, that we should love one another." And that is so powerful. We have to have grace and mercy with each other. And I have to confess, I haven't been the best leader that I should be, right? And so as I am making changes in myself, uh, I'm learning to have empathy. I'm learning to have grace and mercy. Of course, I've always been generous and nice and sometimes sweet, but some things will tick me off. I'm a Marine, right, after all, and alpha male. And so I just find that, people maybe not necessarily be where you're at. We all have issues that we're overcoming, things that we need to consider, and really everything rises and falls on leadership, right? So if you're wanting to attract people ultimately that are good people, then you have to be the type of person that people would want to work with, right? So in my trainings with Howard Partridge, we talk about leadership, and leadership is identifying the people that you want to work with, and they have 10 different character traits. I don't have them all memorized right now, but enthusiasm, professional, they communicate, trustworthy, all those things that you look for in people. Well, guess what? You got to be the same, right? Because they're looking for the same in you as a leader, and everything falls and rises on leadership. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and pray. I usually take my hat off. I'll talk more about my hat here in a second. Heavenly Father, Lord, just thank you for this opportunity to do this Friday live for an audience of one, but whoever's watching this throughout the days and throughout the weeks and months and years to come, I pray that they're inspired to take action on some of the things that we're covering. And I thank you, Lord, for just the platform to be able to share what you're doing in my life and what you're doing in the life of others for those that have come on, and the resources that I'm going to share today. So thank you so much. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So, my hat. So I have a collection of hats. You'll see in my background as well. And so as I'm inspired, I will go ahead and buy a hat. So I just went through my Napoleon phase, for example, and I bought one of the official, I guess it wasn't the official hat, but I bought it on a, there you go. It's one of the ones, I guess, a replica of the French naval hat that you saw Napoleon wear. And so I went ahead and bought the hat, and now I have it in my office. And a little bit about the hat wearing, you know, in life, you're going to wear many different hats, right? So as a dad, as a layman, as a friend, as an influencer, as I'm reading biographies and seeing different things, I'll be inspired. Like I bought the Homburg hat from when I read about Winston Churchill. I've got a World War II helmet replica that I bought on Amazon. Actually, it's pristine, it's brand new. And so there's a lot of history with that helmet in the military as a Marine, or the cover of a Marine. And so hats kind of tell a story. And of course, I've run into people that have amazing hat collections. I mean, hundreds, if not thousands of hats that they have. I don't have that many. But this pork pie I was inspired to get after I watched the series of Breaking Bad. And in the story, I mean, it's really sinister and weird and fascinating to see how life can be entangled in the world of of crime and illegal activity, all that kind of stuff, right? So um, the pork pie hat, I said, well, shoot, that's a cool looking hat for I think it was Heisenberg, the school professor that became, I mean, a school teacher that became a feared manufacturer of methamphetamine. So I like to take things of this world and use it for good, right? So when I say Breaking Bad, in my world, it means to come against evil and to break down those things that would tie you down. I mean, getting addicted to drugs is not a good thing, right? It destroys your life, it destroys your future. And so we're going to take the things of the world and turn it for good. So we're going to break bad. Today we're going to break bad, right? Change the way you think, change your mindset, and focus on the good things in life, and you can get caught up in the desires of your heart, which may be gluttony, may be alcohol, it may be things to excess that don't necessarily add value to your life. I mean, you may be satisfied for a little bit, but when you're 100 pounds, 200 pounds, 300 pounds overweight, not fat shaming, but you know, we make our decisions, right? We can't blame God for that. We have to say, you know what? I'm the one that made the decision to overeat. So now what can I do to reverse that? So we're going to talk a little bit about some of those things that we can do in our life, and again, I'm just sharing what I'm doing. And if you like what you're hearing, then comment or reach out to me. We can talk further about it. But do subscribe because it helps me to magnify the voice. And who knows, you may help others as you maybe come across something, you may share it with somebody else and you may actually help bring value to them. So my tagline is on mission. Right above my left shoulder is my on mission um, sign. I got the camera reversed, right? On mission. So I got the tattoo that says on mission. And that's something I've been doing for about 20 years now. I learned in the Marine Corps when I got an assignment, which I talk about in past episodes. The mission is the focus, right? It's not a distraction. So we have a life mission. In fact, we're going to talk about a book that I'm reading right now called The Seven Primal Questions, right? So we have a primal question that we are born to answer, and it came from our childhood, but we'll talk more about that in a second. So on the website, Network, again, we have our archives, so you can go back and watch the episodes. I try to keep it to an hour, maybe a little bit longer, just depends on how the conversation's going, right? Because if it's a good conversation, then you want to conversate, and that's what I like. I like networking and getting out and mingling. In fact, I'm going to the Katy Christian Chamber breakfast this morning. One of my guys in my network, Randall Reeder, is the guest, and we're going to show you some more about him in a few minutes. But I really like quality time, right? So for me, this is really good. It's kind of like journaling, I guess. A lot of people write, and I haven't been journaling as consistently as I should. I do have a format that I'm following, and one day I'll go over that with you as well. But this is like journaling for me. I get to rehash what's going on in the week, what's going on in my life. And if you want to learn something, then you want to challenge yourself to teach, right? And so I've made some goals to do more blogging, more videos. In fact, I'm probably going to exceed my video goals. I think I made a mention to do like 40. I'm going to blow that out of the water this year, especially if I'm doing them every Friday. Same thing with podcasting. Now that I've cloned my voice, now I'll be able to accelerate my podcast because it sounds so close to me. I'm tweaking it, but it's going to be amazing. I'm going to demonstrate that for you today. And just to have fun, right? So that's the whole spirit of this thing, just have fun. We're going to focus on 4 key areas of life. This is going to be a recurring theme. So I had a great lunch this yesterday with some awesome mentors. And so we were able to talk about health, wealth, love, and happiness, right? Some trainings have 7 key areas, 12 key areas, but 4 is manageable for me. Your health being number 1. wealth of opportunities, wealth of finances, wealth of business, wealth of investment, wealth and a variety of knowledge, right? Then you've got love and happiness, right? Making time for those things. And so I do have a list of things that wanted to talk about. Number one is I got to talk about this on my Facebook page, but I did a video this week on setting goals, right? Because we've heard about setting goals over the years, and but the thing is, goals make us a liar, right? We'll set a goal to do something, we don't hit the goal, and we didn't accomplish it, so we may feel bad, so we don't set another goal, and then we may have too many goals, right? So that was kind of my challenge. Like, okay, what I've tried setting goals before, but I have an internal goal. But by putting it on paper now and going with the model that Zig Ziglar recommended, hold on, I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. It's one of the cup coffees that I had designed as a special gift for one of my people in my circle. I do this for people, but this is for, I made it for Howard Partridge. Let's see here. I was at a seminar last week. I made mention, and he said better than phenomenal. So he said he was thinking about working with the brand on that. So I had a coffee cup made with his colors, and then I put my tagline on mission on the other side, and then I gave it as a gift. You know, so gifts are nice. There's actually a proven principle, being generous and giving, that you should try in business, right? And so I like to give gifts here and there, not expensive gifts, but things that are going to be thoughtful, creative. Maybe a book, it may be something I create, like a bookmarker, or I bought my daughter a book for Valentine's Day. She likes to do embroidery, but she had this theme that I detected, and it said, "Let that shit go." And there's a book entitled "Let That Shit Go." I said, what is that book about? So I did some research on it, and I said, hey, I'll get her that book. I probably want to read it as well. I'll put it up to my reading list. And again, if you want to look at my reading list, you can go to Zero Dark Network and go to books, and there's a link to Goodreads. And so I'll keep adding the books that I'm going to read, the books that I'm reading now, and the books that I've already bought. So I'll usually buy the book and then have it in the stack. So on goal setting, basically what Zig has is 7 steps to identify a real goal, right? So going to the gym, going jogging, all that stuff is goals, but the bottom line goal for me, for example, is to get to a certain weight and to get to a certain fat level. So I want to get down to an ideal weight of 175 with a 20% body fat. That's the goal, right? So here I am, a month ago thinking, well, how do I get to that goal? And so he had a 7-step process. And I'm gonna go over step 1 is identify the goal, right? So in business, and we're going to use this as a prototype. So I'm starting with health because it's number 1. If I can't be healthy, I'm not energized. I don't look good in my clothes. I'm a better leader. Plus, part of my mission is to share what I'm doing. So I'm going to document, and people will emulate, maybe they'll try it, and hopefully I'll make an impact in their life, adding value, right? So ideally, if I get to my goal of 175, I started off the year getting up to 242. So I've got to drop, about 60 pounds, right? But I'm bulky. I lift weights. And so it's a little bit different. Plus, I was exercising the year before. And so putting a date on it. So at 242, I'm now at 233 this morning. I'm dropping weight, but my goal was to lose 8 pounds a month. So when I ran the numbers, I said by September 1st, if I do everything I'm supposed to do, and I don't need to know the how, but going through this process, I was able to figure out the how, right, and make it actionable. Real simple process. Identify the goal. I want to make 100,000 this year. I want to make 1 million this year. Okay. Be realistic. Okay. And Grant Cardone says, well, put the big number out there. You're probably not going to hit it, but you'll start getting closer to it, and you'll learn things in the process that will make it easier to get to that objective quicker. Right. So anyway, health and fitness was easier to think about right now. And so I said, well, 8 pounds a month, September 1st, that puts me at 175 at 20% body fat. Right. So put that down as a goal September 1st, because they say if you don't put it down as a deadline, it's just a wish, or it's not really going to happen. Step 2 was the benefits of reaching that goal. So now I'm thinking of the end in mind. Okay, on September 1st, what are the benefits of all this sacrifice that I made? And I'm not really dieting. I'm actually eating right. So I'm never hungry. It's just now I'm thinking about, what I need to eat, the sizes I'm going to eat, and then staying within a calorie count, right? So I wrote down that the benefits are looking good in clothes, feeling great, energy. I'm documenting it to inspire others and myself. So the more I'm sharing, the more I'm writing it down. because we do have an official weigh-in that my wife and I do at the beginning of the month, so we don't stress it, right? You know what? We have a big weigh-in. We weighed in on February 1st, but we have a big weigh-in March 1st, right? And I want to make that fun. It's like we build up to it. So we're halfway through the month. Now we're looking forward to our next weigh-in, and we're losing weight. We're actually progressing because we developed the systems here that help us to keep on track. Uh, be in better health, have a longer life. So there's other benefits of reaching the goal that go beyond the first year, right? You're going to feel better, energized, and it's going to improve your life. The death curve goes from, this way to maybe a little bit higher, right? And then you've got wife and kids and peers that will be proud of me, and then I'll be helping others, right? So it's another theme, helping others, right? Step 3 is identify the major obstacles and mountains to climb to reach this goal, right? It's a lot of effort, you think, if you're thinking about it overwhelmingly, but every day it's little by little by little, inch by inch is a cinch, as Zig Ziglar used to say. So what can be an obstacle is if I don't track, so I'm very consistent in tracking my calories in my Fitness Pal, my jog time, my exercise time. I have a little journal. Every time I go to the gym, I write down the exercises I'm going to do, and then I add up the weights, right? So that at the end of the year, I'll be able to calculate how much weight I pushed, how many miles I ran, right? So that's being meticulous, but it doesn't take a lot of time. It seems overwhelming, but you take a few minutes, input the data, because if I don't input the data, it's an obstacle to me accomplishing my goal, right? So I don't exercise. So if I decide to blow off the exercise, then basically I'm not going to hit my goal, right? So being a reminder every day that, you know what, I got to exercise at least 6 days a week. Even if that's, 30 minutes on the treadmill, an hour on the treadmill. I like going to the sauna. So even burn calories in the sauna. I think that's 30 minutes in the sauna. You can burn anywhere from, I think, 150 and beyond, just depending on your weight and your metabolism. And I like it, so I just started going to the sauna here recently. So that could be another bit, ways to benefit. But anyway, so we got another obstacles could be not getting proper rest or rewards and hydration. So drinking plenty of water can be an obstacle. And so just identifying the realistic obstacles in the goal, right? So you can apply the same principle again to your business goals, your love and happiness goals, being intentional about creating special memories, how many memories you want to make this year, how many happiness goals, like, I was telling my wife, I said by April 1st, if we're on track, I'd love to be able to jet to DC to go see the cherry blossoms. We just go for a day, stay overnight, and come back, right? That trip will probably be under $1,000. We're saving on food costs, so it actually may be a wash. And we have a built-in memory that's on our vision board that we made happen. So that's some of the dialogue we're talking about as far as rewards. And then step 4 would be skills or knowledge required to reach this goal, right? So that would be the Fitness Pal, the Run Keeper, metrics. For I went and had my initial blood test. I've got a physical coming up. I did a Renfro body scan, basically type technology that measures bone, muscle density, water, subcutaneous fat, BMI, all that stuff. So I have a baseline, right? So come March 1st, I'm going to go back into Fitness 19 and get back on the machine. I also have one at home that I'll print out the report and put it in my book that I have behind me as part of my fitness tracking. Experts books. I have a friend of mine that recommended a book on colon cleanse and keeping a healthy colon. So he just recommended, hey, read chapter 5 and 6. That'll save me time on that. And then body metrics and physicals, right? So these are the ways for me to keep track of the goal by having top of mind, being focused. And it only takes a small part of my day, and I'm able to feel better. So I'm down 10 pounds. I'm feeling better in my shirts. I'm not stretched. And I'm fitting better in my clothes already. This is still only the first month, right? And then step 5 is individual groups, companies, and organizations to work with to reach your goal. So that would be my social media, that would be my peers, my family, and of course my gym circle, right? So these are the people that help keep me accountable, not in a domineering way, but it keeps me true to my word, right? Because I do, again, I was telling you that people text me to find out if I'm really up, because humans see what, as Howard Parker says, humans do what humans see. So when they see you doing stuff, then it becomes more credible, right? And so that's built into my goals, right? So by recognizing that that's going to help me reinforce, then that's more intentional. Step 6 is a plan of action to reach this goal. So what's the plan of action, right? Diet tracking every day. So I got to keep, between 1,500 to 1,700 calories, which really is, I'm actually under calories, right? Especially with exercise, that's 300 or 400. So I pretty much can eat what I want, but I have a regimented schedule. First thing I do when I get up in the morning is eat something, right? That's what my nutritionist said, like yogurt and fruit, no low fat, clean yogurt. And then 2 hours have a light breakfast, then have a snack 2 hours later, raw almonds, walnuts, then have a lunch, basically a palm of protein and a fistful of carb, maybe half carb, and as many vegetables as you want to eat, half a plate, right? And then before dinner, having another snack that could be a snack bar or again raw almonds or raw walnuts, and then having a snack dinner because I usually go to bed at 7. So she recommended that I not have a full dinner, right? So keeping in compliant with that, I'm noticing I'm dropping the weight, right? Exercise 6 days a week, a daily weigh-in. So we weigh in every day. Although some people say don't do that, but there's a new study out that says if you do that, you'll track it a lot better and you'll be top of mind, right? Monthly results. So we're graphing it. So March 1st is our official. We don't worry about the scale throughout the month because it fluctuates and goes up and down. I'm really more concerned about the weigh-in on the first of the month, right? To stay on track with our goal. And then consistency, right? So being consistent and then the date. So step 7 is writing the date. So November 1st, actually my day's September 1st. I have November 1st just for my wife's goal. And we get to that goal inch by inch is a cinch, right? So apply the same principle to any goal, a real goal. And you may only have 4 goals, right? You may only have 3 goals, 3 important goals, right? But then over the years, you may have a goal. Like I have a goal to run a marathon, but the real goal is to get down to 175. So that'll help me get to 175 as well as I increase my cardio, right? So my vision is to run a marathon. Not that I want to run marathons consistently. I just want to meet the guy that ran a marathon. And so I hope that helps. Regarding the gym, so I'm enjoying scheduling my gym time early, getting to the sauna. That's something I haven't done in a while. I've got a new membership this year, and the place that I go to has a sauna. So I make time to just go and decompress, right? Because I've been accused of just having an overactive mind, but that time gives me away, and I can just focus on the heat and the stress of being in that sauna. And then, of course, the result is after when you get to cool off and enjoy the benefits of making that sacrifice, right? Burning that fat and all that kind of good stuff. Now, I did want to make a focus and talk about family and happiness, right? So I've got 2 family members that have had some issues and life traumatizing issues. My sister, which thankfully through prayer we were able to overcome, although we're still not out of the water yet. But it did bring us closer to be able to rally the family together. That I have an uncle that's in the hospital now. And so thankfully, my wife being mindful of our mission to improve in each one of these areas, she goes, we ought to go to College Station and go see your uncle. So today, I guess we'll hit the road at around 12 o'clock from Houston. It takes about an hour and a half to go. We'll meet my sister for lunch. Our daughter's at A&M, so we'll have an opportunity to at least have a coffee with her and just make it a little road trip, right? So being intentional about these things, and some of it's spontaneous. You didn't plan for it, but people need you, right? So my uncle's been a good guy all these years, and everybody's getting older, and health starts to take its toll. And so we're gonna go and hopefully be a little bit of encouragement to him, make a memory for ourselves, and to continue to hopefully nurture him back to recovery. Of course, we just came off of Valentine's Day, so that was a big day for many. Of course, my wife and I have been together 43 years. And of course, even though she said, well, don't get me flowers, don't do this, we still do it. So I still get her flowers. In fact, now my girl sent me a text like, Dad, did you get mom flowers yet? I said, I'm on my way. I was at the gym at the time, so I had my day scheduled full. But since we're on our diet, guess what? We didn't go out to eat, although we did go to Luby's. We did go to Luby's because they had options for healthy meals, right? And then I didn't get candy, right? Because we're not eating sweets anymore and all that. So we went, got our card and a funny card. And of course, my wife, also being spontaneous, got the girls some candies, not candies, but cookies delivered. and they were blessed and surprised. And again, I brought my daughter that book, Let That Shit Go, which I think she gets today, Friday's delivery from Amazon. So when I get that book, we'll do a review on it. And of course, she said, "Oh, I was thinking about getting that book." So anticipating your family needs. Now, as far as wealth goals, so a good friend of mine had advised me to look at getting some Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, but crypto, I guess is what we call it, or blockchain. And so I set up my Exodus wallet. You can type in Exodus wallet, and you can go through the process of getting yourself set up for purchasing, some of this I don't know, crypto or blockchain, NFTs, right? All that stuff. Do your own research. But anyway, I took her advice, and she's, "I'm not giving you investing advice, but go buy $100 worth of XRP." I said, "Okay." And she also wanted to gift me some because I got thousands of them or whatever. So I just went ahead and did that, got the ball rolling, told my wife about it. I said, "Look, we're exploring different ways of wealth, right? And that's one way that we can at least experiment. $100 is not a lot of money for us right now." And I said, "You know what? Let me go ahead and do that." I bought silver and gold, have other investments, that we made as far as like ammunition and food and stuff like that, just for reserves, cash, that kind of thing, right? So it's like, it wouldn't hurt to do that. And then I'm also taking a training this Sunday with Josh Tolley. I interviewed him on A Million Better Millionaires. You can go back to that website, amillionbettermillionaires.com, and check out his interview. But he teaches on acquisitional wealth, buying companies, right? So this is kind of in our trajectory for the future as we're looking at acquiring companies and how do you do it? So being outside, it seems overwhelming, but there are proven ways to do it, and they teach you how to do it, that kind of thing. And so it's an investment, right? So money, it takes money to make money. I was talking about my wife about it, and then actually a person that was talking to me about a program that I'm looking at getting for mentorship and coaching. It takes money to make money. I said, "Yeah, you got to, people hire me for advice, right? But that's because they want a result. They want a delivery, or they want something, as a result of their investment, right?" So with that being said, I'm going to this class on Sunday here in Houston. It's from 8 to 5. It's going to be a kind of more details on how to go about identifying a business and acquiring the business, different resources that are available. Again, these are businesses that have been running for years successfully. They've got their accounting, their legal, they've got their staff. So as a business owner, entrepreneur, when you acquire the business, you don't necessarily have to be involved in the business, but as the stakeholder, shareholder, you can bring value to it because you're thinking like an entrepreneur. What connections do I need to make? What relationships do I need to develop? And then the business is already running. It's just a vehicle, right? So all that, it's called Life, the Business of Life. If you can look up Josh Tolley, you can go to Eventbrite. He does these courses periodically, but I also ping my network. So I want my people to know about this free resource. And as we're mind sharing and masterminding, I want them there, so that we're all on the same trajectory, the same mission to get ourselves, in a good space where we can help others, right? Again, you keep hearing that theme, and that's really what business is all about, busyness, right? So you're helping others, right? So business is transactional. You provide a service, and people are willing to pay for that service because you're making their life better, right? My lawn man, I love paying that guy $45, right? But the sound of the lawn being mowed and me not doing it is incredible. It saves me 5 hours of cleanup and mess that I don't want to deal with. I'd rather go read a book. I'd rather invest in my training. And for $45, it's totally worth it, right? I don't have to keep up the equipment, all that. So go look at XRP if you've been on the fence about this, which I have. I said for 6 months, I've had to get my Exodus wallet set up, and I finally did it. And there's a process. You've got to put your ID in there, your social security number. They have to affirm that that's you, right? Because it is tied. Of course, there's only passwords that that are protected. You don't want to lose it because that's like losing your whole value. Anyway, so now I'm going to study what XRP is going to do this year. I don't know what the projections are, but if you know about this kind of stuff, definitely share some research and resources with you. So I went over my goal model. Actually, I've got my list of things to do, but I'm kind of accelerating through this thing. So the two books I wanted to talk about is, again, the 7 Primal Questions. I'm going to share screen again. And I forget how this one popped up on my radar. I want to say it was probably with the Tai Lopez training that I was taking. I've got some open. Yeah, so the 7 primal questions. Before I'm only a quarter into the book, but there was a QR code and a website. What is the website? Yeah, it's primalquestion.com. 32,000 people have taken this questionnaire, and what it does is it helps you identify. There's 7 primal questions, but your primal question. When I went through the process, mine is, am I secure? Right? For whatever reason, um, that became my question, right? To answer. And that really drives you. So a lot of people don't know what their primal question is, right? So everything you evaluate, if you're not secure, right? When I say secure, I mean I am secure. Here's the questions, right? So I'll go through number 1 through 7. Am I safe? So in your childhood, something traumatic may have happened and you don't feel safe. So your superpower is that you want others to be safe. So you might be called to be a police officer, for example, or a judge, right? And to create an environment of safety or security, right? Am I secure? And the other part of this is you may have your primal question, but the other questions around you, above it and below it, are kind of like satellite primal questions. So mine was, am I secure? So you're looking at your investments, looking at your finances. The biggest dread is that you wouldn't have enough finances, right, for a secure person, right? So you'd be like, oh crap, what's going on? So you'd be in disability, right? So your goal is to understand that, yes, I am secure, right? And you provide security for others. So that's why, like, this platform that we're sharing with entrepreneurship, business, health, it's really all to create an environment of security, right? Security of mind, security of family, security of opportunity, and just saying, yeah, I am secure. So by me being secure, then I'm able to speak that into other people's lives. So knowing your primal question, right? The next one is, am I loved? Again, as a child, you may not have had that parental love that you needed, right? You may have been a latchkey kid or single parent, so there's different stories of how, if you're not nurtured, that you'll always be seeking love. And again, fathers and daughters, if the father doesn't connect with the daughter, she'll go seek love. And it's unhealthy, from anybody that will give her attention, that kind of thing. And so that's a primal question. And so again, the purpose of this book is, once you understand your primal need, then you're more in control. So you are loved, right? You're providing love. And so now you're not seeking for the answer in others. You've already got the answer within yourself, and you're coming from a place of knowledge, right? The other one was, am I wanted? Maybe you were adopted. Maybe your family went through divorce, right? See, there's always that question of, am I wanted? Did I cause the divorce, right? Am I successful? That's that burning question, because the more success you breed, sometimes they don't see themselves as successful. So you start saying to yourself, I am successful. I am successful. And all of a sudden that breeds more success, right? Am I good enough? There's a lot of people that want to know, every man has that question. Do I have what it takes? Right. So some people join the Marines. I joined the Marines. I wanted to know, do I have what it takes? Right. Because my dad was a strong leader in my life. He was a man's man. He used to tell me filling that boot was a tough boot to fill. Well, being a Marine is like one of the toughest boots to fill. So I went and did that. So yes, I feel like I am good enough, right? I've already proven myself, and I'm willing to prove myself every day. So I don't have that primal question because I've already done it, if you will. So again, my primal question was, am I secure? So as I'm looking at building successful people, I want them to be secure, right? I want them to breathe a little sigh of relief, saying, you know what, I got my $1 million business, or I got my $5 million business. And then now I'm focused on my next goal, because I do want to help more people to be secure, right? So that's my superpower. The next one is, do I have a purpose? Right? A lot of people don't know if they have a purpose. There's been so much that's happened to them, but that may be their purpose, is that because so much has happened to them, they're going to go out and be purposeful and help people to define their purpose. So recommend this book. I'm a quarter into it, called The 7 Primal Questions. Take the quiz. It's a short little quiz. Go to primalquestion.com. And then there's a video there that can tell you more about what that community is all about. And the other book that I read, I just got, is Tony Robbins. Let me stop share again. Tony Robbins' book, the Holy Grail of Investing. And so this is his accumulation of interviewing top people and where they make their money. And he's uncovered some really good resources that make it possible for you and I to get accredited by taking a quiz. And then as accredited investor, you open up your opportunities for investments that other people don't get to make because they don't have the network to do it, right? So that's part of his book. I haven't started reading it yet, but when he did the brief on it, I wanted to go ahead and get that book. I pre-ordered it, and thankfully it came in this week. Let me see if there's anybody here knows somebody. All right, so I made mention that I'm delving into marketing artificial intelligence. And so what I wanted to do is I bought this program with Billy Gene. It's a 10-day AI business. It's archived, so I have access to it for, I guess, as long as his company's around. But I'm in day 4 now. I did day 1, so I'm a little bit behind. He's, but each day has been productive. I like the way he structured these things because they don't take all day, right? They take a couple of hours and they're step by step. But if you implement these ideas, it'll take a bit more time, but it's step by step process. So I'm going through the steps and I'm implementing. And so what I want to say on day 3, I was able to clone my voice. I'm going to share that with you, but I wanted to do the opening video just so you got an understanding and a taste. About 6 months ago, I took one of these courses that he did, and it really advanced my understanding and my focus. I decided, in marketing, over the years, I've done everything you can think of, from website design, photography, video, working with photographers, working with videographers, movie makers, technologists, SEO, that type of stuff, press releases and media, event management, fundraising, logo design, jingles and ringtones, billboards, you name it, right? Just startup processes, working on museums. So it's all marketing, right? And so with that being said, marketing artificial intelligence is still new. So we're still we're the pioneers, right? So I decided, I'm going to focus on that, not everything, but a large chunk of my attention is on artificial intelligence. And some of just the cool basic platforms that are there are truly amazing. But I wanted to show you this quick video just so you got a taste of the direction we're going. And if you want to talk more about this, because I do have people that are reaching out to me, I can help plug you in on some of this stuff, like voice cloning. My network freaked out when I sent them the new Andy AI voice, and how it's like 98%. It sounds like me, but I had to give it a sample. But let's play this video as the intro to see where we're headed in the future of artificial intelligence. This is 5 minutes long.
A lot of people think AI is going to replace humans, and that's simply not correct. Humans will be replaced by humans like us using AI. Hey, what's up? It's Billy Gene, still me, different design, and I created this 10-day training to show you how I'd make $10,000 a month while working remotely using nothing but a laptop, artificial intelligence, and automation. Genius tip number 1, you never go into business without an unfair advantage. And for the model that I'm going to show you over the next 10 days, we have several unfair advantages. Roll the clip.
Billy Gene, 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 Billy Gene is marketing.
That's me, that's my background, and here's the plan to make money. We have to find a gem in the marketplace, a growing niche, an extraordinary pain in a magic moment. So for example, growing niche. we'll be focusing on selling to small business owners because there's 30 million of them in the United States, and that's an increase of 50% since 2010. Plus, they're easy to reach and they're willing to spend money to grow their business because business owners understand the significance of investment. Next, in our gym, we need a market with an extraordinary problem. And right now, that's exactly what business owners have. Almost half fail in the first 5 years of starting up. And it's primarily because they don't make enough money to survive. So your new job starting now is you're going to get paid to save small businesses. Here's your cape.
Don't worry, young businesses. I am here to save you.
Because when you solve extraordinary problems for people, you get paid extraordinarily. So you take a cleaner, ordinary problem, ordinary pay. You take a driver, ordinary problem, ordinary pay. A cashier, ordinary problem, ordinary pay. But let's flip that. A doctor saves lives. Extraordinary problem, extraordinary pay. An attorney protects your freedom. Extraordinary problem, extraordinary pay. You don't have a lack of money problem. You have a lack of problem-solving problem. And at the end of these 10 days, you'll be able to save businesses with AI and automation. And if you go all in, this skill set, I promise will change your life, because the amount of money you make is directly and forever coordinated with the problems that you can solve. Now, what makes this particular opportunity once in a generation is this magic moment that we're in now. The timing. Most businesses have a profit margin of less than 10%. And human labor is typically 70% of their expenses. So if you could go into a business and use artificial intelligence to reduce their labor cost and increase their sales with some cool software that I'll show you soon, do you think they'd be willing to pay you extraordinarily? Of course they would. And that's the premise of our 10-day AI business plan. Never before in history has someone with zero technical experience, a little budget, and zero team been able to do something like this before. But AI, me, you, is the great equalizer. And I can't wait to show you how powerful it's going to make you. And you're now one of the few lucky pioneers that gets to take early advantage of this massive opportunity. Let's get to work. I'll see you in the next video.
All right, so there's been a lot of value in not just Billie Jean's training, but Chandra Sumter's. I took her training this last week on lists. And so if you look at all of these successful thought leaders, businesses, they all have a list, right? So the goal is you want to get to 7,000 to 10,000, and there's models to do that. Your landing page, having a compelling interest that someone would want to give you their email, phone number, and stay in contact with you, right? And the wealth is in that list. And some people have 30,000, 100,000, million people in their list. And of course, you want to protect that list. You don't just give that list out. And so the other thinking is other people's people that have lists. So a lot of times when I book these interviews with famous people, you're now buying into their network, right? They have something good to say. We want to share it with our people. They'll share that with their people, and you start to build your following, right? And the key is it's not hokey. It's good information, things that if you act on it, it would change your life and change your influence and reward you for the time that you took to study this kind of stuff, right? Because they don't have the time to do it. And if they're not doing it, they're kind of being left behind. So one of the resources that I wound up using and now have an account with is 11labs.io. 11labs.io. And I cloned my voice. Let me do this. I'm going to regenerate this one because I did this intro, But all I did was I uploaded a sample of my voice. And of course, I have a bunch of samples because I do a lot of radio and podcasts. And so all I needed was a clean sample, at least a minute or so. And then I got their basic package. Right now, they're doing a little special. I think it's $2 for the first month and $5 every month thereafter. The creator account, I think it's like $22 or $20 a month. So I may upgrade it because then I'll have a little bit more sophistication with the voice. But then once I had the my sample set up, which was really easy to do, just uploaded from my computer, my MP3, I added my voice, and then now I have some parameters to adjust. And so I've been playing around with these parameters, and this is just the basic level, right? And even at the basic level, it wind up creating my voice. I do generate. We'll do it live right now so you can hear it. So I just typed in the text. Now I can type up to 5,000 characters. So this makes my life a whole lot easier when it comes to podcasting, right? I can type up what I want to say in my podcast, put the text there. It'll generate the voice. Then I can go edit with my music and intro and then output it as a podcast. So I can create, 30 days worth of content, and I don't have to spend hours with my voice recording. So let's see what it's outputting the voice now.
I'm Andy Valadez, President of Marketing Dynamics, based in Houston, Texas. I am a United States Marine Corps veteran, Texas A&M and Tulane University grad with a major in business and marketing.
Let's do that again. So that's the intro. So I had a whole big section, but I needed this little intro as I'm reviewing the content. So let's hear it one more time.
I'm Andy Valadez, President of Marketing Dynamics, based in Houston, Texas. I am a United States Marine Corps veteran, Texas A&M and Tulane University grad with a major in business and marketing.
Now, isn't that awesome? Now, same thing can be done with video. You can actually create a video clone, and I'm not going to go into that one right now because I still haven't done that, but the voice clone is done, right? I'm just going to tweak it. And last night, I wanted to post in this post to have a SoundCloud account. You go to soundcloud.com/EBC broadcast, and you can see a lot of my content that I've created for other clients, for radio commercials or whatever. So the complete message I'm going to play for you right now is all my voice clone. I didn't record it. I just recorded the sample. Now it has my voice, and it took my inflection, my emotion, and it did a pretty darn good job. I mean, those that know me, they could detect a little bit, but for the average person that doesn't know me, it's hard. It's really hard to detect. So here's a message from me in my robot, my mini me. I hope you're impressed with it. Check it out.
Hi, I am Andy Valadez, President of Marketing Dynamics based in Houston, Texas. I am a United States Marine Corps veteran, Texas A&M and Tulane University grad with a major in business and marketing. Marketing Dynamics enjoys a reputation that is recognized by thought leaders of our time. We have served legendary clients like the Home Depot, Tulane University, Bub Racing 7, two-time motorcycle land speed world record holder, the Shoshone Nation and Native Indian country, world champion bull rider Scott Mendez, Texas hero Stephen Williford aka the Barefoot Defender, President Donald J. Trump, humanitarian machine gun preacher, champion boxer David Nino Rodriguez, countless small businesses and nonprofits and various national veterans organizations like the American Legion, Marine Corps League, Honor Flight Network, Wheelchairs for Warriors, and the United States Marine Corps. We have been in business since 1999 and have experience in marketing in just about every situation. We have forgotten more marketing than many know today and remain current with recent technologies, AI, and today's marketing trends. We provide degreed marketing oversight and continue to add to our marketing intellectual capital by investing in training with market leaders like Ty Lopez, Howard Partridge, Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, Chandra Sumter, Billie Jean Marketing, Donald Miller, and more. We are readers and leaders with a mighty network of resources and contacts, and along with our investment in marketing artificial intelligence, the future of marketing, we are available and on call throughout our journey together and provide a startup guarantee that allows us to put our reputation on the line for both sales and marketing. We are retained for our innovative thinking and doing. Commodities are plentiful, but applied strategy is not. Our mission, we help people become legendary. Our values, we work smarter, harder, faster to help our clients attain the checkered flag in their industry. Our purpose, to protect our clients from marketing failures and ripoffs.
All right, pretty incredible. So that last ringtone jingle is my brand that I created. We do these ringtones and jingles. Always recommend it to clients because music is an instant connector. 3 second for your productions, 13 second for download to your fans, the people in your group. You can set your alarms with it. And so it just gives you a vibe, right? So that's a ringtone that we're socializing that we want people to know about. And then I wanted to talk about one of the resources that we have. Oh, so as far as artificial intelligence is concerned, I want to say that I put it to work with ChatGPT, right? So I have all my saves, but as a marketing leader expert and basically teaching it more about me because there is ways to set the parameters. So it knows that I'm a marketing strategist with a degree, been in practice, my company and all that kind of stuff. So when I query my searches, it knows that I'm coming from that perspective. And so I have a congressional candidate that I'm working with, and I want to creating a script and understanding demographics. You got to garbage in, garbage out. So as an expert master, basically at a high level, right? So as you get to a level of mastery in whatever field you're in, you know how to articulate the result you want. So I look at ChatGPT as like having an employee, right? I have an assistant or I have a marketing expert leader on my team. Well, it's like me telling them what I want, right? I need a good press release and that needs to have this, 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 and this. Same thing for a video script, right? I've done many commercials, 30 second, 60 second. We've done documentaries or whatever. But anyway, I wanted to do a political campaign. I said, look, you are a political strategist, marketing person. You understand the demographics and the issues of the time. So the prompt is what's critical. And you don't want redundancy. You don't want it to be hokey, right? So you want to talk about the state of the practice, state of the technology, but also understanding demographics. So I really wanted this commercial to reach millennials and Gen Zers. Millennials now are 45, Gen Zers are 22. Then, of course, Boomer X, like me, we were the parents of the millennials. Then you got Boomers, which were the parents of us, right? So you have all these multiple demographics, but everybody's concerned about certain issues that crosses both party lines, right? So when I directed the script, in my network, someone evaluated and said, man, that's a $40,000 video because it is complex. It is very visual. It is dynamic. It is current. It's state of the technology, right? State of the art, state of the practice, right? But a lot of these commercials that I've seen are kind of hokey. It's like they're all red, white, and blue, rah, 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 elect me and I'll make your life better. Vote for me, big cheesy, right? So I didn't want that type of commercial. So elevating the standard. So most of what's out there a lot of times is level 3 and 4 production value, and people are making money at that, right? But they need to get it to 8, 9, and 10, which I say is Hollywood quality. Although I'm not a big fan of Hollywood, but they do know how to capture and tell a story and get the visuals and transition the mind. And it's called programming, right? Television programming, in production. So you're producing things. And so in marketing, no different, right? There's no change. So I use ChatGPT. If you haven't learned about ChatGPT, definitely it's evolved. There's a lot of plugins now that you can incorporate that help you to do images, videos, even now, like with Vizsla, which is a plugin, which I'm not going to go into right now. So anyway, I wanted creating this commercial featuring Caroline, and ultimately it's a mashup. So the first part is the AI script, but the editing was what I did. So there's some basic stock footage, and as a producer, executive producer type, I knew what I wanted to convey. So part of this story is the success and failure, right? That's really every person's dilemma. We get up every morning, we have success and failure before us, right? So right now in America, in the mind of the Americans, they're worried about paying the bills, they're worried about inflation, they're worried about crime, they're worried about the impact on their youth with some of the programming. And some people are buying into this stuff, right? And they don't realize that they've been socialized and deceived and fed misinformation, right? Or disinformation or lack of information. There's an agenda, right? There's a narrative. And a lot of the stuff that we're talking about today, we should have learned in school, but they're not teaching us that, right? And so I borrowed from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you've ever seen that movie, that was a really scary movie that really made millions. But the guy that produced that movie, I got to meet. I think he did it for like $100,000. But in the beginning of the movie, there's a flashing ka-ching, ka-ching. So I did some of that in this particular video. That part of the video was powerful. But then another partner in our network, a friend, I guess, he produced the last part with Caroline on camera, and then she had done a radio commercial, so I was able to take that last segment of this ad paid for by Caroline Kane and put it all together. And then for branding purposes, I got to put my ringtone at the end of it, right? So this is a sophisticated commercial. It's probably worth about $40,000 to $50,000. Thankfully, with AI and the thinking, we were able to drive down the cost of that to make it like super valuable and a great case study. So now the objective is, how do we get this video in front of people, the voters in CD7, this district. So I'm going to share this video with you. I hope you like it. So far, the feedback I've gotten from it's been amazing. Even these are professionals in the industry that are either in broadcast or they do video work. And so the standards are changing, right? They're improving. And so the cheese is being moved. And somebody said that the cheese is falling off the cracker. Well, the cracker. So we want to be the people that are moving the cheese, the thought leaders. And you're going to always have market changes. So people are afraid of AI. But the thing is, when the first website was up, people were making a lot of money just building websites. But that was an advancement because no one was really doing anything online before. But now, it's a commonplace. You can do a website for free. But really, it's the thinking that's the value, right? The website feature is what people get paid for, in the thinking and the creativity and knowing how to do it quickly and driving down that cost, right? So let's play this video.
In a world where uncertainty is the only certainty, where the dreams of our families and the future of our grandchildren are clouded by subversive agendas, misinformation, and a border invasion, where hardworking Americans face economic hardships and rising crime, it's time for a leader who understands the battles we face. A leader who stands ready to shake up Washington and raise a voice that cannot be ignored. America needs Caroline Kane to champion the safety of our nation and to defend our children in the next generation. It's time to raise Kane in D.C.
I'm Caroline Kane. I'm a Christian constitutional conservative, an award-winning small business owner, and a contributing writer to Forbes Real Estate Council. For years, I've donated to Republican candidates in hopes of saving our country, but I was constantly let down by false campaign promises. So guess what? I'm running for Congress in Congressional District 7 to help save this country. Most Americans are not happy about the direction this country is headed, and it's no different in CD7. An open border, out-of-control spending, a weak economy are hurting all of us. When I get to Congress, I'm slamming the brakes on this anti-American regime that lives on Capitol Hill, and I'll return us to a government that is for and by the people. Let's raise some Kane in D.C., and I'll see you on the campaign trail. I'm asking for your support as an investment in America's future. www.carolinekaneforcongress.com, paid for by Caroline Kane for Congress.
All right, so that was the commercial. That was my real voice, and part of the pixelation, actually, that was my internet connection. Thankfully, I'm getting an upgrade Monday to fiber, so it should be 3 times the speed. So that was my voice. That was my work. Working again, the last part of the video where she's on camera, another provider did that. And so thankfully, it takes great minds don't think alike, but put it together, become brilliant. So that was, to me, is an awesome commercial. A good standard I don't see done in the marketplace. And given the limited budget, I mean, we could have gotten more sophisticated than that, but given the limited budget, this is something that we could put together. And then, of course, that last part of the video is my ringtone, but also the animated logo. So a lot of logos out there can be animated, and so there's a little art to doing that. And so if you'd like to talk about animating your logos, then reach out to me. We can talk about it. It just gives another visual dynamic. We can also talk about cartoon creation. So, in fact, one of my clients is Stephen Rilliford, and one of the things I did for him a while back and he's now the national spokesperson for Gun Owners of America. And thankfully, as a marketing guy, he's not a marketer. So I invested in helping him to get a website up and running and doing a demo reel for his times in the media. And then I had a cartoon created for him. And basically his logo array. So the Barefoot Defender is what he goes by. And the cartoon that I had created is the Barefoot Defender. So basically nothing new under the sun. When I directed my designer, I wanted to enlarge his feet like Flintstone. You remember the cartoon Flintstone? And I wanted to put a hat on because the original that I had didn't have him on a hat. And my designer put sunglasses on. So basically he's not smiling because he's deadly serious that day when he defended this church. And so ultimately the theme behind this is don't mess with Texas, right? The Barefoot Defender, Stephen Williford. I should have put bullet holes here, but interestingly, he didn't know how to take it at first, but he liked it. His wife liked it. And what I envisioned for him is that someday we would create a signature AR-15 with his images on it. So I do have one of the examples here, but this one, Palmetto Arms did 10,000 pieces with the Barefoot Defender cartoon in the state of Texas, which I had created as well. But they've called this one the Sheepdog, right? So it's pretty cool. I'm gonna stop camera just to show you the power of the thinking, right? So here's my lower. This is the part that's regulated, right? With the AR-15, they call this a firearm. I had his signature done, lasered. I had that converted to digital. And so at some point we're looking and we're talking about creating an AR-15 with his liking, like the one behind me on my right. He helped me to accumulate the parts I had put together. Never fired it yet, but I wanted to change out the lower with the Sheepdog lower. So this is the prototype. The one that we're going to do is probably going to be valued around 3,500. So it's going to have a top end scope, reticle, lower barrel, all the the best of the best of the best you can put on the AR-15. And then we're going to have them fire it and serialize that, this was fired by Stephen Williford because he is a national hero. He's a Texas legend up there with the people that died at the Alamo. Basically, the state of Texas has recognized him as a hero. He saved a lot of lives at Southern Springs in Texas 5 years ago. And I thankful that he's a client and friend, and we're able to communicate. And he's endorsed me for what I'm doing. I mean, so it's really kind of cool to work with legends. I say, we work with legends. I'm serious about it. These are people that movies are made of. In fact, he's got a documentary out called Miracle on 4th Street in the book, a town called Southern Springs, Faith and Heroism Through Tragedy. It reads like a movie. You get to know more about the people that went to church there and then how the community came together. And I've actually been to this church and there's bullet holes all in it, so anyway, inspirational guy, definitely is a voice for freedom in our day. And then let's see here. I wanted to talk about, we're a little bit over our time. I wanted to talk about High Level. And so I've got an account with High Level, and this is a platform that allows marketers to run campaigns or even individual business owners, right? You can schedule your posts, you can create your content, you can do transactional sales, you can get alerts. Like I've got a chat feature now on my website. So if someone comes to my site and they want to chat, I'll get an alert. And it just really streamlines your process. Again, Billie Jean talked about High Level. So there's also an affiliate process. So you can resell this and get paid. And so you create these agencies and you can create your, I'm still kind of learning it. Let's see here. I won't go into too much detail, but I've already got scheduled posts that I'm doing. Yeah, so let's go to mine. So if we go to marketing, in marketing, I've got my scheduled post. I've got my social media set up. I've got my planner. So my social planner allows me to create posts and then schedule those posts, right? So if I want to do it for Instagram or LinkedIn, I put my content here, which I can pull from ChatGPT. I can pull an image from Pixabay, or I can put a video, and then I can schedule it to post like tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then I can schedule it out for the year and maybe take an hour to do that. And I've got all my posts scheduled. So for one client, for example, I have a year's worth of blogs and a year's worth of articles that I can populate in a blog post. And then once it's scheduled, it's done. You would ordinarily pay thousands of dollars for that. but in reality, because of the know-how, we can drive down that cost. But the key is to generate revenue, right? Sales and marketing. So that being said, let's see here. So Randall Reeder is one of our speakers at the Katy Christian Chamber today. He's in my network, and I've helped book several speakers at Katy Christian Chamber. And even my members at the chamber and in my networks really don't know what I do. What do you do, right? So it's really high level, high mastery stuff that would cost tens of thousands of dollars to do, which, I do want to get rewarded for, but, I want to be like, okay, if I'm going to help you, what's the upside for me as well? How do I get rewarded? Bonuses, rewarded for my thinking. We can start off, frugally, but as partners collaborating, basically I look at my talent as kind of being an investor. If I'm going to put $50,000 worth of value in your interest, right? And I want to help you to do that, how do I get compensated for that thought, that leadership, helping you to advance your mission? So anyway, at Katy Christian Chamber, we've helped book Machine Gun Preacher, Randall Reeder now, Termite Watkins. I think Bill Nash is in my network, but I think he was a member of the chamber before. And I'm trying to think of who else I think we indirectly helped the CEO of Goya to come speak. And then we've got some others. I think Ruben Gonzalez, when he comes to Houston. Right now he's competing in the Olympics or preparing for the Olympics for the gold medal. I believe he's going to get it this year. Fit time to compete in the luge, right? So I wanted to play Randall Reeder's demo reel. He's a big old boy. He's like 6'5", maybe 300 plus pounds. And this is his latest demo reel that I'm going to share with you. Good guy, Big Teddy. I wanted to introduce him to Machine Gun Preacher, so he was real thankful for that. So a lot of times, we can help make introductions that are hard to make. But he actually got into the movie business because of Machine Gun Preacher. He watched this movie, was inspired, and he decided he wanted to be an actor that he could help influence production. So this is Randall Reeder. Hope you like his demo reel.
Well, okay, I'm fine. I'm fine.
You know what FINE stands for, Wade? Fucked up, insecure, needy, and emotional.
We got more stick to shoot.
Looks like you fixing to run. You better run better than you play pool. I say we go raghead and cut these hand off.
Hell
all right. Hold up. What you want?
Cheers.
I did that.
Buck, you best apologize before Yeah. That.
Say the magic words, Fat Gandalf.
I'm sorry.
Breathe through the nose.
I don't have a filter between my brain and my ego.
Okay. Hey, ho. Hakuna has taught us. He's sorry. Get out of here. Go cast the spell.
For the buy-in.
That was a gift.
I got a feeling that gifts from you come with strings. I don't keep what's not mine.
You know, stranger, you won a bit tonight. Why don't you do us another favor? Cash out and leave.
You don't want me leaving without my keys. Wrong people see your nephew riding around on that bike, they'll tear this town apart.
These folks are your friends, or are they your enemies?
Does it matter?
This some sort of weird dream?
I'm a giant rabbit playing hockey against a vacuum cleaner in your living room. Don't you think that would be impossible and insane if you weren't having a weird and unsettling dream?
I don't know what that means.
It means that you've got a heart made out of old snow tires. Because when the Pirates of the Mississippi hit the chorus to feed Jake, he was a good dog. Look what you did! What the fuck? You non-driving motherfuckers! Get the fuck out of the car! Get out of the car! What are you, the fucking king or elf? Get out of the car!
No! That's fucking TZ time! No! Fucking TZ time! Take an extra one!
Alright, stop it now!
I ain't interested.
He said you better get your mind around being interested.
Meaning what?
Meaning, your choice is to expand your business, or we shut you down entire.
I think this bud of mine just quit.
That's the way you want it?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine with me. Get your ass off my rig.
Please don't let it be Big Bob. Please don't let it be Big Bob. Please don't let it be Big Bob. Hi.
I'm Big Bob.
Yes, you are.
Guess I'm not high enough to get that one.
Well, guess what else you're not gonna get, party pooper? The Colonel. Here, honey.
Sucks to be you, nerd.
Yeah, I got this box of bees for Dale Gribble, but no one's home. Mind if I leave it with you?
Hey, that may be how you refer to women in the future, but come on.
No, sir. Turns out she charged some guy a lot of money and didn't put out. Don't worry, though. We'll get her out on a work release whoring license as long as you're doing her. Hey! She not putting out?
No, she is.
Okay. Hey, a couple of us guys were wondering, we go family style on her.
Cool. Anyway, a little rough language there, but you know what? We're adults. So he is going to be the speaker at the Katy Christian Chamber today. If you're in the Houston area and you'd like to be a part of the chamber, go to katychristianchamber.com and you can take a look at the events that we have planned throughout the year, from breakfast to lunch and meetups to the directory. And there may be time to make this if you're, well, I won't have the video done before then, so never mind. But here is the featured speaker section. And we have different speakers. If you'd like to speak at this event, let me know. But he was part of Sons of Thunder. And I don't know if we can click that or not. The reel. So there's his demo reel. So for Christian audiences, you know, a lot of people get upset about foul language or whatever, but you know, I think John the Baptist said worse things to the people, you brood of vipers, you know. But one of my guests I'd like to have on pretty soon, I met this lady, Angela Shelton, and she is a warrioress, loves to champion, you know, women and men, and has a unique calling for what she's doing. We met at one of Chandra Sumter's trainings, and so we're going to collaborate and looking forward to what she has to share. So we're at the end of this episode of the Zero Dark Network Friday Live. And so I hope you're finding value in this platform discussion. And even though it's an audience of one many times, but we do have an open invite. If you'd like to be on, the Zoom link is at the website, zerodarknetwork.com. Go to Friday Live, just cut and paste and click it in your browser, schedule it in your calendar. And if you got something you want to say, definitely we may have time to discuss. It just depends on how many people are in the room. And thank you for watching. And tune in next Friday, 03. If you'd like to come to our Saturday Change Me here in the Houston area, let us know. Reach out to me. We are looking to replicate this model to where people could do their own locations. We do have a mastermind on Tuesdays. We've now moved to a Zoom on that, but it's by invitation only, limited to 12. And we do it once a month in person because just for time's sake, we just decided, you know, let's do it on Zoom first, and then we get together once a month, because there's nothing more powerful than when you get with people live, right? It's a lot more dynamic, a lot more synergy, a lot more, you know, bondness. What do you call it? It's just more meaningful when you get together, right? And no agendas. Like, you know, I'm just learning that, like my friend Asa and I, we don't necessarily think the same, but now we have a lot more grace and mercy that we didn't have when we first met each other, because he's got his ways of doing stuff, I got my ways, and we would butt heads on some things. But now we just kind of like, okay, I know how Asa is, he knows how I am, and we work around each other to come to a good result, right? A good process. And not only that, as we're changing our methods, we're changing with others as well, and it becomes more collaborative, right? Not groupthink. There's a danger in groupthink where everybody thinks the same, right? So you want to be independent, contrarian. You want to be the magic moment, aha, where you're bringing new information and adding value to the discussion. You know, spotting trends, right? And that's kind of what, as we're conversing, we're detecting trends, and then like, hey, I found this book, or hey, I found this resource, like XRP, right? So I'll be sharing that with our group and say, this is what I did, right? And they may do it or they may not do it, but you know what? This is what I'm doing, right? And then later on, maybe a month from now, they may say, hey, yeah, let me go ahead and do that XRP. Because same thing with me. My friend told me about it 6 months ago, 9 months ago, and I finally got my wallet set up, was fear of the unknown, right? Getting it set up was really easy. It wasn't that, difficult. The more I made it in my mind, right? Now it's part of my system now. Now I'm reviewing it. I may buy some more, and I'll keep on learning and applying what I'm learning. So thank you for watching. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. And you can definitely watch the archives and subscribe. Thank you. My name is Andy Valadez, founder of Marketing Dynamics. The late Peter Drucker, the father of management theory, believed marketing was critical to your business. He said the purpose of a business is to create a customer through marketing and innovation. Strategic marketing equals immediate success. We offer you speed to market without the speeding tickets. Work smarter, harder, faster. Marketing Dynamics, because the market never stays the same. Please visit teammarketingdynamics.com.